Come on in, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Take it away.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to a live episode of everybody's favorite podcast on all of the internet, Liftoff. I know. All of you are big fans, big supporters. We appreciate it. So today we're going to do something fun. I thought we would do some hot takes on growth with two industry titans. One who shares the same surname as me, who just so happens to be my father, Keith Myers, to my right.
Yep.
He's the owner of REMAX One. I'll let him introduce himself, though, in a minute. And also is my co-host for Liftoff. And we are joined by personal trainer,
Yes.
no, our very own Coach Mike Lefton, who is perennial top producer out of Simi Valley and truly has a passion to help agents get the most out of their career. And so we're going to have some fun.
Yeah,
And
we are.
I have a dear friend who I did see at the Bold Trail booth back there. I think he's probably out taking selfies with many of you at R4. And that's Ben Fairfield. I wanted to borrow one of his little words of wisdom that he said a couple years back, and it was, do we have permission to call your baby ugly? And so what I mean by that is today we might ruffle some feathers. Sometimes we need to tell the truth and get honest in order to be able to take steps forward in growth. And that's going to be the topic of conversation, is having the honest dialogue that needs to happen. Think of this as an opportunity for us to hold up a mirror and for you all to take an honest look at yourselves, not just to criticize yourself or focus on flaws. That's not the intention. But if anything, be more aware of the greatness in you. How many of you are aware of that little tagline that REMAX has been putting on a lot of our social media and stuff like that? It's the greatness in you. Everybody's raising their hands, yes. I really believe that's so true, and sometimes we just need that reminder. So let this be a mirror.
Let's jump in on it, yeah.
To all of you guys. So go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
All right, I'm Keith Myers, my 42nd year in real estate, and I am a broker-owner of a Southern California real estate behemoth, largest REMAX Southern California, REMAX One. Proud to serve some great agents. But I still think like an agent, and I think I always will. And what I've discovered is that if, in fact, you want to make more money in real estate, and if you're not, why? If you're not growing, you're dying, and nobody wants to die. You cannot stay the same. So we're going to talk about a few things that may resonate to you today, that there's really 4 ways for you to make more money. Do more transactions. Be more intentional on your price point, maybe aim a little higher, and then develop badass skills on how you can take right price listings and you add value, and you have so much value in your listing presentation that they have to use you, not only want to use you, but they feel like they have to use you. Jordan Cohen, our top agent and the #1 luxury agent for REMAX in the world, did a breakout session today, and he talked a little bit about that. You want to spend so much time developing your skills. So Mike and I are 2 of the leaders of the business development portion of our side. And we take what we all have, which is now a 120-country global behemoth in REMAX with the most trusted name in real estate. And then we've built upon that by adding what I think is very important, an internal coach to help you develop your business. And then we also have something we may not get into too much today, but is a staff real estate attorney. I've been a believer in that. It's our second attorney, Jonathan Malik, sitting here in the front row. Because we found that the other way you can make more money is keep your transactions together, solve your problems, put them together, but keep them together. And if we could use talent from our combination of Patty Petralia, our broker of record, and Jonathan, plus Rachel and a powerful management team, if you can just keep 2 more deals together per year, that makes a difference in your life. All right, so I want to throw it over to Mike. Mike he's a real big believer on developing relationships and really using tools and resources to better stay in touch, develop, and enrich your relationships.
You're spot on. So a little bit about me. So I'm 28 years, almost 29 years now in real estate. I've done a little over 1,500 transactions in my career. So I'm not just a coach. I'm actually in the business right now with you. So I'm in it right now. So I understand the hard. I understand the pain. I understand what everybody's going through right now. I think that's the hardest part right now that we're running through. Because everybody goes, we go to all these coaches, and then they go, you don't understand. I go, oh, I understand because I'm in it still. So I don't just work as a coach at REMAX One. I actually do real estate, and I run my team at REMAX One. So I think there's a lot of value behind that because I understand what everybody's going through. Now, through the process, I think right now we need to embrace the hard. And I think that's the hardest part right now. But it's going to get easier. I promise you. I think they were talking about 240,000 agents are leaving the business. 20%. So what does that mean? That means 20% more opportunity for you. So understand something. This is a good thing because those are those one-offs. Remember, Uncle Joey's mother's aunt's brother's nephew is in the business and they're going to sell you a house. Guess what? They're going bye-bye. Now it's your time to shine. This is time for growth. It's up to you how you want to actually grow. We came up with something the other day, and I call it the 5-5-5-5 rule. You can call it the 3-3-3-3, whatever you want to call it, but I call it the 5-5-5-5. And I want to add the last 5 on it too. So it'll be 5 5s. If you guys do this one thing in the next 30 days, I promise you, you will do business. And what does that mean? So if you do 5 more phone calls a day, 5 more emails, 5 more text messages, and 5 more DMs, social DMs. I'm not saying just post something on social media. I want you to go into their DM and say hi to them. If you do this for the next 30 days, do you understand that's 600 touches? 600 in 30 days. Is anybody doing that right now? It's not that hard. But the last part of that 5, if you do that for the next 12 months, I promise you do at least 5 more transactions. And what does that mean? Every area is different. In my area, the average home is $1 million. That's $5 million. That's over almost $125,000, $150,000 of income. Who doesn't want to make another $100,000 by literally just picking up your phone and doing these things? We have to have deeper conversations with our clients. I was talking to Keith before I got here. I'm sitting over at the bar. We were playing I was playing blackjack on the thing. And it was so interesting. I met a woman sitting there. She goes, oh, you're real estate? So am I. Oh, where are you from? Pittsburgh. I'm building a deeper connection. She has a team of 9 people. We started running through some stuff. She goes, oh my God, I need this. The one thing is, it's what we do with this. We have to build relationships. Why do we come here? We spend a lot of money to come to Vegas, but what are you doing with it? What value are you bringing and what value are you delivering out there to people to know you, to trust you, to refer you? I live by one big thing, and that is building deeper connections. I call it the power of 100. So I want you guys to think about this for 1 second. If you have 100 people in your database, and I guarantee you, if everybody pulls their phone out, you have more than 100 contacts in that phone. And if you look in that contact, I guarantee you, you don't have everybody in there. And what I mean by that is you don't have their phone numbers, their emails, their address, their birthdays, all of it, where they work. You don't have all of it. You probably have maybe the phone number. Maybe you have their email. Maybe you just don't have it all. We don't have a complete database. When we call the power of 100, that's the power of 100. So how do you get all that information? Pick up the phone and call them. Hey, Joey, how are you? Listen, I'm updating my database, and right now, for some reason, I feel like I don't have the right email. Can you give it to me? I didn't say I don't have your email. I just feel like I don't have the right one. Listen, they don't want to know. And I asked them for their birthday. And guess what I asked them next? I want to know your significant other or your partner or your spouse, whatever, because we want to make sure we're wishing both parties a birthday wish. You got to remember, they got to know you, to trust you, to refer you. Very simple, keep it simple. But it's up to you to do the work.
That's right.
You got to decide what that looks like. Will you do the 5-5-5-5? It's up to you. But understand one thing. Inside here, you can go to all the different things. We go to all these seminars. We get so excited. We come home, and nothing happens. Why? Because we make our own excuses. So you got to decide when we say no now and actually just start doing it. We have to do one thing, and we have to get 1% better every day. I didn't say 100, but 1% every day.
Right.
And if you do that over a whole year, do you understand that's 37% better for the year? That's a lot. Do you understand? We get beat down every day from transactions, but it's up to us to pick ourselves back up. We are in the best profession ever. We have no cap. Did you hear what I just said? We have no cap. So we have the #1 real estate agent in REMAX that works for our company. The #1, Jordan Cohen. And you have to understand one thing. You think his business is built on lead generation? It's built on relationships. And I guarantee if you ask any of these top agents out here, where do you get most of your business? And I asked the lady that was sitting next to me from Pittsburgh, I go, I'm going to ask you one question. Where does most of your business come from? She said she's been in the business 33 years. She goes, referrals. And I said, all right, so let's go a little farther. What would you say the percentage? I'm going to go 90%. She goes, 94. So what do you want to gamble on? You got to decide. I'm not saying not to do the pay-per-click and do all those things. But if you gamble on you and you dive deeper into your relationships with your clients, 1,000% return on your investment. Did you hear what I said? 1,000. So if you knew you couldn't fail, what's stopping you? Decide what you want. It's up to you. It's your show. I always say that, and it's showtime. So decide how that looks. So understand it's your baby, just how you started it.
That's right. It is our baby. And like a baby, it takes careful nurturing. It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. But with that care, there will be growth. So I'm going to pass it back to you,
Yeah.
Pops, as I affectionately refer to you. What has been an important lesson of growth that you had to learn through practice that's made a difference in your career as an agent, but also in your career just as an owner, as a leader? Can you talk on that a bit?
Sure. I jump back to the early part of my career, and you get your license, and they hand you a business card, and then they go, good luck. Either use this thing with a curly Q cord on it and call people. What do I say? Hey, do you want to sell? Okay. What else? Go knock on doors. What do I say? Hey, do you want to sell? So I did that. I was young and active, so I went out and knocked doors because we didn't have the ability to maintain these databases and curate them as well as we do now. I remember the first couple listings I went on, I just stumbled because I didn't know what to say. I remember one time this older gentleman had me in, and they said, yeah, I want to move. And so I created the CMA. It was so great. I sat down. I said, thank you for having me here. And I'm going to work really hard for you, and I'm going to have open houses. Are you going to advertise my home? Yes, I'm going to advertise it. Where? LA Times. I didn't know if we even advertised in LA Times. And he goes, what else? I go, whatever it takes. And he goes, I don't know, but be more specific. And I go, I really don't know. But I didn't say that. I go, could I have a glass of water? I wanted a glass of water. I sat back, and I owned it, and I said, I got to tell you, I'm pretty new in this business, but no one will work harder than I will to make sure you win. I'm going to put all my effort in making you win. And I've got a bench behind me of some of the most successful agents and management behind me, so we will get this done. He liked it. He hired me. But I left that thing, and I said, that'll never happen to me again. And I learned that just like the Navy SEALs, they have a saying that I'll butcher it a little bit, but when problems arise, they sink back to their training and their systems.
That's right.
So you need to train. You need to know your craft. You need to know your listing presentation, what to say, and say it in such a way that you believe it, because confidence is contagious, and your confidence will build on that. So you build on some of the stuff that Mike's saying here, but then you get that opportunity, you win the day. That's the way that you win. But I'll add a little bit on the business development to what Mike says. As I mentioned, I grew up as a geographic farmer. So you need to nurture the people you know, you like, you trust, that you've built these relationships, because ideally, not only are you going to get their repeat and referral business, but you're going to get second generation. And Mike has a story belonging to a network group of guys and gals that has been involved for a while, and he got something like 12 referrals a year ago. None of them were for them. They were sons, cousins, a coworker, a friend, a buddy at the golf shop. So when you're really on all cylinders and really working your system, but the other part of that is you need to incrementally add to that. I picked farming, still works by the way, and there's a lot of ways of doing it. There's new and better ways in which you can use predictive analytics on who to give the messages to, and we won't go through all that today, but there's other things you can do. So do a lot of things to make sure you're successful, but you need to shoot high. All of this shoot too low. The biggest thing that I struggle with as being a broker is seeing talented people fall short. They just either don't have the belief system or don't work hard enough to get the job done. Embrace the hard, like you said, Mike.
That's well said. I'm going to throw it to you, Mike, too, but I'm going to tee you up a little bit. If you were sitting down with an agent right now who feels like they've plateaued, what's something that an agent like that needs to hear but maybe doesn't want to hear? Because, again, the theme of this is hot takes on growth, and I know you're not afraid to hit somebody in between the eyes.
I think the biggest thing is when you start, reality is I'll sit down with most of them. I'll dive deep into what they're doing and try to tweak what they're doing, but I'll first find out what are your non-negotiables every day. I want to know what they are. It can be 3, 4, or 5. I always try to say 5 because that 5, 5, 5. What are your 5 non-negotiables every day? I don't care what they are, but what are they? And they look at me like, what are yours? I'm like, oh, I'll tell you what mine are. And it's interesting. I always say, because we always want to get one thing back, and that's time, because we can't get time back. So what do? I don't have enough time. There's always that. I don't have time. I go, that's interesting. I said, I'm going to have you wake up 2 hours earlier. You're going to get time back now. They're like, oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can, if you want to get what you want. You have to understand, we have to embrace the hard. And the hard is not easy. But if you want it bad enough, you're going to get it. I always start with this. It's like going to the gym. If you go to the gym one day, are you going to be in the best shape of your life?
No.
If you eat really well one day, are you going to be the healthiest in your life?
No.
But if you do this over time for the next 6 months, do you think there's going to be results?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000%. So if you knew you couldn't fail, what is stopping you? You have to decide what you want from this. And again, we have to embrace hard. Nothing is easy. This business is not easy. How many people have come into this business, friends and everybody else? I can do what you can do. I go, come aboard. Let's see what you got. You know what they say to me? They literally say, when do I get paid? I said, when you get a deal. Well, when do I get a deal? Go find one. Come on.
Yeah.
And listen, it's hard enough once you get the deal, you put it in. Now we got to keep it together. How many of those deals fall apart? Listen, most agents will run for the hills. We got to hit them head on. We have to create what's called solutions to every problem. We're fixers. That's what we do. But understand one thing. You decide what you want. And I'm very hard. I have what's called a zero tolerance when I coach. Listen, you're here for a reason. If you want it bad enough, I'm going to give it to you. If you don't show up, we're done. They're like, what do you mean we're done? We're done. You don't want it.
Right.
You have to want it. You came here to this convention because you want it, but you have to decide, what are you going to do with it when you leave from here? And they always do it. Take it in building blocks. Chunk it down. Do it in small increments, and over time, will create massive results.
Mike, you said something about showing up early. One of the things that I notice going to all the various offices, not only ours, but others, it's the same. It's like your office. Who's there at 8 o'clock in the morning? Nobody. 9? A couple people. 10? Start rolling in. 11? Then they go to lunch. I know one agent that is there every day at 8 o'clock. He's there, first one there, usually last one out, works a busy, full day. Some of the best scripts and dialogues of all time, master at marketing. He's the master of the listing presentation. I wonder if you might come up here and say a few words and share some of his things. Let's hear it for Jordan Cohen. Slide over,
Yep.
Put him in there. Jordan Cohen just lauded again for the #1 REMAX agent in the world. Thank you, Jordan, for joining us today. We've been talking a little bit here about...
Check. Okay, cool.
Yeah, talking a little bit about things that you needed to be successul. And
Kept the seat warm for you.
There's
I was going to say, I'm definitely the shortest, fattest one up here. Not about that.
But what we were talking about, the whole array of what makes one successful, and you're the king at, what do you say is the most important thing that a realtor needs to master?
Not even a close second, listing presentation.
Yep.
Because that will lead to more lead generation.
Yep. Yeah, so you take that developing of these relationships that Mike talks about, and you're time blocking and treating the business like a business that I teach. But you need to win when you get that opportunity. Nothing worse than all your hard work and marketing dollars, and you get a chance to go compete for a listing, and you lose. I know you talked a little bit about it today, so I don't know if you need to riff on that, if you have some thoughts about that, little tidbits or things that might be helpful.
No, I'm good, man. No, it was exactly like what you just said. I preach it when people ask me that nothing worse than investing a lot of money in farming and mailers and marketing and lead generation than you actually do what's the most important thing, which is get in front of somebody and they interview 2 other brokers and you lose. It's very frustrating. Pisses me off. So that's why I feel like the listing presentation is without a doubt the key to longevity and success in the business.
Jordan, I was going to say, I know some people may be aware of this, some people may not, but I know you had the good fortune of knowing Kobe Bryant personally. And Kobe is a perfect definition with his Mamba mentality of somebody who just has that grit and that drive to just win and crush it. Like, he embodied that tenacity that so many people dream of having. Can you speak to how that is something that you even have with how you go about crafting your listing presentation and some of the mindset that you have? Because you didn't just wake up one day with this powerful listing presentation. That took a lot of dedication, right?
Yeah, years of, and it still evolves all the time. So I change it to depending on what's going on. So I change it, and I still practice. God, this is weird with the headphones. It's different. And so I practice all the time. Now I practice mainly when I'm in front of people because I go on enough presentations. I've done it enough. But for years and years, that was my number one daily routine. Was get up, get in the office, and practice my shit so I didn't miss out on anything. But what you said about Kobe was interesting. True story. So one time when I was doing a deal with them, and it was when they were going from Palisades to Newport. And I went there and I needed some dock signed. And there was a whole field like underneath, but next to the house that underneath, it was the middle of summer, it was like August. And I went over there to get some dock signed. I said to Vanessa, I go, V, I need to get Kobe to sign these things. And she looks and she points down. So I looked down and he was by himself, not running, just walking. It was middle of the day, 1 o'clock. And he had the weights like Mike would know, where you put the thing around you and you pull the weight. And he was just going back and forth for an hour, and I'm waiting, and I'm like, 'cause I needed him to sign some stuff. And he comes up, and he's just beating sweat like crazy. And I go, Kobe, it's 110 degrees out there. Couldn't you have done that at 7 in the morning or later? And he looked at me, he's called me Hustler. He goes, Hustler, that's when everybody else does it. Wow. And I went, wow, man, that's when you do it. That's true story. Like he had,
That's so powerful.
Yeah. Oh, good one.
Yep.
So, passing it back to you, Pops.
By the way, man, you've turned into a good-looking dude, bro.
Thank you, Jordan.
You know, like,
That means a lot.
Great hair. Look at that. Got the chin going and the beard.
Wow.
Just
Thank
turned
you.
into a stud, man. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. No, it's so good getting to spend this time with you, and I love just seeing you get to share from your heart. And I think so many people see all of what you've accomplished, but you're just the real guy who's so genuine. And
Thank you.
and what I love about you is that through all the years of success that you've had, you still have maintained that humility. And I think that's something that makes you so great, too, and
Thanks.
makes you approachable because people feel like they can genuinely relate.
Dude, we're real estate agents. We're not doctors. We're not CEOs. We're not school teachers, or police officers. Really important. We sell real estate, so there's no reason to be anything. Some do better than others, obviously, but listen, I keep it in my mind going, it's just a realtor. Just try to do the best I can to help people move.
That's it, man.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
It's well said. So for somebody who's maybe listening and thinking, hey, you're a Kobe to them. They aspire to achieve some of the greatness that you have. Of course, I know you talk about the importance of listing presentation, but what would be some of your words to somebody who's saying, maybe one day I could be trying for number one in REMAX and try to compete with Jordan? What would be something that you would want to encourage somebody who has that aspiration?
I hope they do. I hope somebody does that legally as an individual. I'd respect that for sure. And somebody should, because I don't do any of the tools that Keith talks about, like all the artificial intelligence. I don't do any of that. So there should be some young gun that knows how to use all the tools that REMAX provides to get you more business. So I just rely on what Keith said, which is geographical farming, sphere of influence, and past clients, and a good name in the communities I work. But there's so many better ways to do it. And I think somebody that learns all that and develops a good listing presentation and a work ethic should kick my ass.
Man, it's going to be tough to do. You really do a phenomenal job. And that's the thing, too, that's unique about our industry. And I know that you could also attest to it just from what you've shared. Each and every person on this stage is an example of going about their business in a different way. And that's the double-edged sword of real estate, is that there's not a cookie-cutter approach to being successful. And for some, that's a statement that's exciting and motivating. For some, that it is overwhelming because it's deer in the headlights. There's too much that I can, or someone just tell me what I should do. There's a lot of room for creativity and expression that's authentic. Maybe somebody isn't an organic geographic farmer. Maybe they are somebody who's crushing it on social media or whatever it may be. But
cold calling, all
Yeah.
that. There's so many different ways. But the top realtors are always going to be listing agents. So they
That's right.
have to be a dominant listing agent, have a good presentation. And if somebody can master all those things, which I cannot, I'm not social, I don't know how to do all that stuff. So when somebody, I don't want to learn it, I'm past that point. But when someone can literally learn farming, prospecting, artificial intelligence, and all the other stuff that Keith talks about, there's millions of dollars of income there waiting for somebody, for sure.
yeah.
Here's the
I
one
think-
commonality, though, that is common between all successful people, but particularly in our industry, is that you've learned to embrace the hard. Rachel Reese, our executive VP, my right hand, brought to us a YouTube video of the Duke women's basketball coach. Look it up sometime. It's cool. She talks about embracing the hard, about, hey, if I just get through this spring training, then it'll get easier during the season, or I get through my freshman season, then as a sophomore I'll get better, and then it becomes easier. Life doesn't get easier, it gets harder. You just get better at handling the hard, and you need to tell yourself, I'm sick and tired of being mediocre, because none of you here are really struggling, I doubt. But even if you're struggling, mediocre is even in some ways worse to me. Rise above or go do something else. But if you really want it, anybody, any size, any age, any ethnicity,
Is that a fat
prove
joke?
that.
Is that a
No.
fat joke?
We all can be successful, and we can own your own lane. But you need to do something with passion, persistence. What's your 4 things? You spend the time, money, passion, and energy.
Money, time, passion, energy.
Money, time, passion, energy, and focus on what you do. Take the stuff Mike says and really cultivate those people you already know. If you don't know enough people, well, start building from there. Get to know the people that they know. Get yourself out there. Do things that you enjoy doing and turn those things into a magnet. I just believe that all of us have so much more that we can accomplish. And it's my goal in this life, as I continue to do this for as long as possible, and leading good people into great things, is I want to see excellence. I want to see people achieve the success that they so richly deserve. But it doesn't come easy. If you're looking for that silver bullet, this AI gizmo that's all of a sudden going to make it good, guess what? That's the middle mile. I could help with some lead gen faster. We all use ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude to write stuff and craft things, and it's amazing. But that last mile, you're going to need to go out there, talk to the people, take the listings, know how to show real estate, know how to get prices reduced properly, how to hold open houses properly. You need to do that. Until Elon Musk's robot can replace that, I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. They need us. You need to believe in yourself and go after it.
Said. Mike, do you have anything to add to that?
I think there's so much to it. Everything's moving so fast now. As Jordan he's in his lane. What's your lane? You have to decide what it is. But we have to start embracing some of this new technology. Again, it's going to help us. It's not going to replace us, but it's how you work it. It's very simple, but you got to decide how you're going to use it. There's so many great tools to speed up so many things in our business now to make it easier, not harder. So you decide how that looks. Like we were talking about relationships. Again, this business is built on relationships. That's it. It's not that hard. But you have to remember, are you building the relationships? And again, I preach the power of 100. And I want to give you these numbers real quick. If you have 100 people in your database, each one of them know at least 100 people. How many people is that? That's 10,000. Now, most of them have a significant other or a partner or something. And guess what? Now you just took 100 and turned it into 20,000 people. It's the power of numbers. But remember one thing. That 100, it's who they know. That's how the business builds. And then when you sell them that house, now it's the power of 101, power of 102, power of 100. It keeps growing. It's evergreen. You decide how that looks. But understand one thing. Are you building the deeper connections? Are you geo-farming your own database? What are you doing with it? Or are you just hoping and praying someone's going to call you to list their house? Everybody knows somebody. And if you've been in this business long enough, I promise you, if you go without a listing presentation, because I've had it only happened one time. My client says, don't bring anything. Just come over and talk to it. I did. And I'm like, all right, I'm sending you the contracts. They call me 2 days later. Uncle Joey's brother came over and just showed me all this stuff he's going to do for me. So we signed the contracts with him. Has this never happened to you? Listen, let me tell you right now. It never happened again. It only takes one time. But understand, I didn't fail. I learned from it.
That's right.
So understand one thing. What are you doing to make yourself better 1% every day?
Can I speak to something that I get sometime about you, Jordan, is that Jordan's lucky because he's got this network of professional basketball players and football players and singers and actors, and that didn't come by accident. You had an opportunity to work with somebody, and you parlayed that truly out of one. I've heard so many things. Your parents were big, high-powered agents and attorneys in the
none of it was true.
In the entertainment business. Your mom at one time was a manicurist, and then she became a realtor, a good realtor, Miss Harriet. And your dad had a hot dog stand, and then he became in real estate. But you built it on your own. But I've heard stories about, I know people, many people that I can't tell you who his client was, and I know you have some that I don't even know who they are. But I remember you had an opportunity to go meet a big name person, and you were so nervous that you pulled over on the side of the road and you threw up and you were just nervous and you had to make up a story and say, man, I got sick.
That was Sylvester Stallone. True.
Sylvester Stallone, that's right.
I was so
And he's
scared.
turned into be a multiple past client and truly a friend to you, and he's done some really good stuff for you on your Instagram.
I was nervous about that one. I was
Yeah.
starstruck about that.
Yeah.
We got the MVP here. Did you not see we got? Did you not see we got Ronnie? Like
Everybody loves Ronnie.
MVP
Give
of
it
the
up for
whole
Ronnie.
company.
Hey,
MVP
Ronnie.
of the whole company. Yeah. No, it's true. I parlayed it from one, and then I asked to get relationships with his agent and business manager. Just hustled that and was relentless for that.
That's that same thing, kind of what you're saying is you took that relationship and you went next level from him to people he knew, people he worked for him, and people they knew, and all of a sudden that parlays into number one in the world.
Let me emphasize on that. You parlayed it because most people run with the same people. Am I right or am I wrong? So understand that. You decide how that looks.
I wish I had a database. I don't have that or any of that CDM stuff and
CDM.
None of it. And
Is that
see,
Corona
that's what I'm
Del
saying.
Mar?
See, if somebody's really good with database, like what Mike said was a great idea. If somebody's really good with that stuff and all the other stuff, then boy, I'd get my ass kicked.
No, that just proves the point, though. You're really good at some really good things, but you're not good at everything.
I'm terrible.
You don't have
at
to
the
be
other stuff.
good at everything.
That's right.
Know your strengths, work on your strengths, delegate your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a really well-known personality assessment called StrengthsFinder, and it's built on the premise of not working on the things that you're weakest at. It's building upon things that you're naturally strong at. And I think it's so true, and it applies to so many areas of life. But it's important for that to be a mindset that we have in going about the business, because of course somebody is going to feel overwhelmed if they think, oh, the only way for me to succeed is through cold calling for 8 hours a day. And maybe they dread the thought of that, and that's something that they aren't naturally skilled at or something that they would never do well at. But perhaps to another person, that sounds like music to their ears. Like we have an agent in our office, Mona Golestani, who's
On
a
the phones
fantastic.
all the time.
Yeah, but it goes to show you again that it's play to your strengths. Speaking of which, I'm gonna throw it back to you, Pops.
Yeah.
What lessons about playing to your strengths did you learn maybe through football? Because I know you've drawn on that throughout your life as being so foundational to your leadership, to just how you carry yourself. So can you think about some stories with that and how that's played into playing to your strengths?
One time I played in college, played at Utah State, quarterback, Utah State, played against Penn State, cold, rainy day on their homecoming game. And I got knocked out and carried off on a wooden stretcher because they thought I broke my neck.
Jeez.
So my strengths was my neck didn't break and I was good. No, but truly, I had a strong competitive background. I don't know where it came from. It didn't come from my father or my parents. They loved me, but they weren't the Todd Marinovich father that made them eat crazy food and stuff. But somewhere in me, I was blessed with the ability to want to compete and win. And there may have been somebody taller, stronger, faster. Nobody with a better arm than me, though.
That's true.
But anyway, but I've parlayed that, and I've done the same thing to try to be successful. But over the years, I found that the best way to make me satisfied in what I do is see the success of others. I long have made the decision to, even though I do sell real estate, I love it. It's my hobby. I don't hunt, fish, or golf very much, occasionally with Mike. So my wife and I sell some real estate, keeps me fresh, understanding what you guys go through. But I don't want to lose, man. Chew my arm off before I give up. And you got to have that mindset too. If you start losing and you're okay with it, lost a listing. Maybe I'll get lucky the next time. Oh, excuse. Yeah, but they knew somebody. I bet they cut the commission. Something. No, that's not. You got to compete. You got to want. You got to have the will to win. I don't know what that's.
For a commission-based business, you have
right.
to be competitive.
You have to hunt to eat.
Yeah.
This is a hunter business. That you're not a gatherer. You need to hunt. Eat what you kill. Oh, something like that.
I'm sure there's some parallel there. But no, Jordan, I'm going to throw it to you. How do you build that competitive mindset? Is that something you think personally you're just born with it, you either have it or you don't, or you think it's something that you have to develop?
He was an all-city nose tackle at Granada
Left
High
guard.
School. Oh, left guard. Okay.
Left guard. Pulling
Yeah,
guard.
baby.
Yeah. No, it was, I'm competitive as you get. But for me, it's wanting to be number one and have a full checkbook.
Yes.
So we're in a you have to make your own money.
That's right.
And I don't want to do this as long as Keith. Like Keith said, he wants to do it forever. I don't. So for me, I got to save as much money as I can.
There you go.
So that's why I got to take advantage of every listing and win, and then pocket the money and make good investments. Because we're in a blessed business that way. Like it's unlimited. Like,
Yep.
if you work 7 days a week, and you work smart, and you work skill, and you work good, the sky's the limit. And you could become a multimillionaire. And what other business can you do that with just a few $1,000s invested in the beginning without a college education? It's hard.
That's right.
So real estate's a great business like that.
Said. Yeah, it's a unique canvas that we're handed. We can have the same palette to paint with, to use this analogy, but it's like we get to design our business the way that we want. And again, but you got to have that will to do something excellent.
And at some point, you
stop
need
you.
to take the brush and paint.
Yeah, but let me stop that. So not everybody in real estate, I've learned, is motivated and driven to make $1 million. Not
Right.
everybody's. That's okay.
Yeah.
But some people are part-time or they're housewives or house husbands and they just don't want to work 7 days a week. And
Sure.
that's totally cool. I totally get that. But I think everybody wants to win every opportunity. So even
Yeah.
if it's once a month, and they're good with that. Like my best friend sells real estate, and she's happy if she sells 3 homes a year. That's all she wants. And so in order to sell 3 or 4 homes a year, you still have to win in those situations. So
That's right.
It's not going to fall in your lap, and that's okay. If you're not driven to just absolutely crush it, Keith don't want to hear that because Keith wants everybody to be driven like that, but it's not always the case, and that's okay too. Keith is great at helping the people that don't necessarily want to work 7 days a week, be on the phone on a Sunday at 7 o'clock talking about arbitration, which which kind of sucks. So I get that. Not everybody's wired for that.
Yeah,
There's 2 million realtors. Not everybody's wired like that. Like Keith's wired like that.
it's true. He's
Big,
wired. It's all
strong
that
hands.
coffee and
Red-
and methylene blue.
Ronnie's wired like that. Just kick ass and
Don't get in my supplement
build the
stack.
best.
No, that's true. You do have to have that wiring to an extent for sure. But I think to go back to what you were saying, Jordan, I think it is special that somebody's definition of success could be that maybe it's not $1 million, maybe it's 100,000, and that's all that they feel is truly going to make them satisfied.
Yep. And
But when
they should go to a broker that will help them accomplish their goals, like Keith does. Just say everybody's individual and help them.
Well, here's an example.
Mike's arms didn't get like that walking around a gym. He knows what he's doing in that gym. You got to know what you're doing in real estate too.
That's right.
To take advantage of every situation.
Here's an example of that, and you know the story. We had a young new licensee come to work with us out in Westlake, and we were just getting started. David Rothblum, and he wanted to be successful. So you talked to him, and I did, about farming. Is what we knew, and he washed out on it. And he languished and hunted around for a little bit for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and then he found his niche, and he started working the niche of trust and probate attorneys. Now he's a perennial Diamond Club guy, just a classy, hard-working dude. And
I
so
got
proud
him
of
in the
him.
business.
I know.
He
He was a
was the-
yeah. You tell us.
He did the
coffee cart
brokers
for open houses. Yeah.
Back when I did open houses, and he was tall, handsome guy, great personality, and he was just graduated from USC. But he wanted to go into film business, and I
Right.
said, "Hey, man, you'd be really good at real estate."
Yeah.
And I think that helped him. Who knows? He could have been
For sure.
Spielberg now, but you never know. But I said, you should do real estate. And he goes, okay, I'll do real estate while I'm trying to get into the film thing. And then it's turned into a hell of a career for him.
Absolutely.
He's doing amazing. Yeah.
Speaking of somebody else that you've influenced, I know you alluded to it during your session today, which was phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a great job. But Brandon Koppel,
That was awesome. Yeah. Brandon, he was my son's best friend. He is my son's buddy. And I coached him in youth football.
so cool.
And he was that kid that we loved as coaches. Hardworking, hustling, great attitude. So when he wanted to go into real estate, I cringed at that because I didn't want to babysit or anything.
Yeah.
So I actually told him, I said, Brandon, go interview all the brokerages. And he went to all of them. And I was hoping he wouldn't come. I didn't want to deal with him all the time. So he called me and he goes, hey, I'm going to come to REMAX. I love Keith. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I started him off where he had to start in the pits. He had to go in the bullpen for a while, for about a year. And then I saw his work ethic. 'Cause I hate when I see kids ask me for advice and they
Right.
don't do what I tell them to do. Mike must see that all the time. Frustrates the hell out of me. That's why I don't want anybody to ask me. Because if I'm going to tell you and you don't do it, it's upset me. Because I don't want to spend time. So I was telling Brandon what to do, or advising him. And boy, he took it and ran. And he's so great and such a nice, likable kid. So I asked him to come into my office. So I see him as the guy that when I fade out a little bit and do more and more co-lists and hopefully bring him in there. And
Yeah, it's interesting. He's not on your team.
I don't have a team.
But he listens to you, and if you see him, he's got the same mannerisms, and he's
same posts on Instagram. My words, yeah. Because when I'm on the phone to clients and buyers, sellers,
Yeah.
he goes outside the door and listens to me, which is smart. I wish I had that. So he hears everything I say, how to get price reductions, how to everything. So he's armed and ready to go in, win, and build a great career. He's having a baby.
Right.
He has the drive, like Mike said. He has that. Has to do it now.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Mike, you have another gift and energy. You were out prospecting here until 3:30
Wait, Mike
last
has
night.
energy?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But one of the things you do that has served you well in your real estate agent career, apart from your coaching, and then you talk about that, is turn your passions not by being that insurance salesman, but it just works in a conversation. I know you do some cornhole, you golf, you picked up bowling, you hold the ball like you're Fred Flintstone, you don't use the holes. You got good at that, and you just meet people at what you do, what you like to do, and it evolves into business. Dan Murphy the same way. One of our really good agents, and he decided to buy a house in Franklin, Tennessee, and kind of liked it there. Got his license, and in 3.5 years, he was just named the #1 REMAX agent in Tennessee. While he still does some California work.
Is he licensed with both?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy, by the way.
Yeah, and he's working with your guy.
Yeah. I
That's
love
a whole
that.
nother
Dan's
story.
a great guy.
But
yeah, he's awesome.
how do we get people into doing the things they enjoy doing more than just sitting and watching TV and hoping something happens?
I think you just gotta, like I said, you have to embrace the hard. Just embrace it. It's okay. The hard's gonna get easier. It's that simple. If you do it enough times, it's gonna get easier, correct? So that's what we have to start doing. Understanding, like building. If your listing presentation is not here, it's time to build it to be here. But you have to understand, embrace it. Do the role playing. Do the things that you don't want to do. There's a book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. Has anybody read that? All right. And what it means is do the hardest thing first. Get it out of the way. Eat that frog and then keep going. You have to decide what is your hard and make it easier. It will happen over time. But understand it's building blocks. Nothing is easy. Making $1 million is not easy. But staying there is even harder. So understand something. If you want it bad enough, you will get it. But don't get mad because now you're there. Just understand, build better systems to handle those things. Use the new technology to help it. Jordan uses his CRM. I'm just kidding.
I don't even know what it means.
I know. CMT, whatever.
Yeah, I
but
confuse that.
Decide what you want and get it, but go after it. You got to want it.
Yeah.
What is your why? Why are you doing this? Everybody has their whys. But at the same time, Jordan doesn't want to stay in this forever. But he does have a why. He has an end. But understand, what are you doing to get there? Have that end in mind.
What does
Right?
CRM stand for? Seriously.
Customer Relation Management System.
Customer relation, man. That makes sense.
Welcome.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Again, Jordan is built on relationships. My business has always been built on relationships. Yes, I play cornhole. I do golf. I meet people at the gym. I'm everywhere. I call it sauna talk. I'm always in the sauna. I'm like, hey, so what do you do? I'm like, it's very disturbing how they talk, but a bunch of guys in there. But you know what? Over time, they know me now.
Yeah.
They've gotten to know me. But understand, how are you getting to know your people? So I joined, instead of spending $50,000 on Zillow every year and giving 40% of my money away through the flex and all that other stuff, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. All I'm saying is your return is so much bigger on deeper connections. I promise you. And if you're selling in the $600,000 range, guess what you do? Go up to the $800,000 or the $1 million range. It'll change. It'll shift your game. You'll make more money. But you got to decide what that why is and how you're going to get there. And it's not that hard. It's just making those little tweaks in your business to get there.
You started to say instead of $50,000 a year on Zillow, you joined a club.
Yes.
A lot less than $50,000 a year,
But I wanted to finish on that. And
but you're developing business that way.
where are you going to go and go golf with somebody for 4 hours and build a deeper connection? So I'll spend a couple $100 to my client at the country club, and guess what? I get to know them a little bit better. So I get to know them, to trust them, to refer me or use me.
and you get to
That's
have fun doing it.
And I get to do what I love.
Do what
Which-
you love to do and turn it into your passion and into your source of income.
That's right.
I can't wait to be able to golf. I literally can't golf. You know why? Seriously?
Why?
Because I can't be on a golf course for 3 or 4 hours not be on
Right.
my phone. So when I say I don't want to do it forever, I want to slow down and then have more time to golf. But right now, for all my friends are members everywhere, and I get invited to play all the time.
You and I are going to play 8, 9 holes.
Yeah,
so you
I
come out with
just don't have. It's frustrating because
Do you
even
gotta-
while I'm sitting here, I feel my phone go.
And you've got
It's good and it's bad.
you've got an epic pickleball court you built in your backyard. Do you use it?
3 times. Yeah. It's great.
Okay, we're getting close to the end here. Maybe a couple questions out here.
Yeah, any questions?
I didn't hear.
Hard to
How's-
repeat it, Derek.
Could you go into the microphone?
How do you feel your work-life harmony is?
Ooh.
I get that my
work-life
phone is-
harmony.
Work-life harmony.
Yeah.
My phone is constantly
Work-life
buzzing.
harmony or
Like you're balanced,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't
Balance.
like that
No,
word
but I
because
like-
most of us don't like to have a 50-50. I like having an 80-20 work 80, play 20, and I'm happy. Do you feel like you fulfill that work-life balance, quote unquote?
Do you want me to answer that for him as his son?
I'd love an answer from each of you.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll go. Listen, I don't have it. It's not an 80-20 from me. It's about 50-50 from me. Because I use golf as some of my fun now. All right? So I balance it. My children are older adults now. I don't have to be running to dance, and I don't have to be running to baseball. I don't have to run all that. But understand one thing. So now I'm using some of my things I love to do with my clients. So it's not actually work, but at the same time, I get business from it.
Yeah.
So understand, you got to find that balance of what it is. And understand, it's okay to turn the phone off when you have dinner. It's okay. I promise in an hour, your clients are still going to be there. But understand, you have to let that go. What's that book from Mel Robbins? Everybody know it? Let Them? Yeah. Let me tell you, it's powerful. You have to let them. It's going to be okay, I promise you, and let go. But then call them. Respond. It's going to be okay. Just like Jordan right now, he's going to lose it. But he's going to get it. He'll make all the calls when he's done. But I promise you this, have some balance. Shut your phone off. I go into every deal when I do a deal with a client, I actually set my expectations. And I let them know, guys, I'm not going to call you at 10 o'clock at night. Please don't call me at 10 o'clock at night. I shut off about maybe 7, and at about maybe 9, you'll hear from me. If you decide you want to call me at 10 o'clock, you're going to hear from me at 5 in the morning. Set the expectations.
And they're like, what
I'll
timeline?
go. So that was a great question, by the way. Thank you for that. So I had a game plan when I got into it. Before I had kids, I said, I'm going to work. I thought ahead, and I said, I'm going to bust my ass every day. I worked 7 days a week for 7 years. I didn't watch a football game on a Sunday. I sat open houses every Saturday and Sunday because I wanted to make as much money as I can so when my kids were able to do stuff, I could take more time off. Make less money during that time, but that's okay. I made real good in the beginning, and I saved it. And then when my kids were growing up, I coached every sport. I didn't miss a practice. I didn't miss a game. We went to Hawaii once or twice a year. I didn't save much money during that year, but I lived a good life, and I always lived in a modest house. But my plan was that. And then when my kids went to college and beyond, it's work time now. So I could really enjoy the latter part because I want to have all the great things. I didn't work this hard to be number one to go on bus vacations. I want bigger and better stuff. At that point now where I work my ass off right now to be able to get to that. So I don't have great balance, but I go to Africa every year because of the time zone. I could go to Africa and be on a game drive at 11 o'clock and everybody's sleeping here. And then I return calls later. So I pick that and go to Hawaii. But I work when I'm in Hawaii, but not when I'm in Africa. I don't know if I answered that.
I'd real quick say about that is try to make your work fun. Do things you like to do and turn it into business. But remember, you're not going to have balance. If you want to be ultimately super successful, if you want to sell $319 million in real estate in a year, which is proof of concept that it can be done because he's done it, you're going to have some imbalance. But also, you guys are soft because back in the day, we were presented offers in person and then had to drive across town, present it to the buyer, and then drive back. We'd work till midnight a bunch of times. Derek, when he was a baby, I wouldn't see him for 2 days sometimes because I was gone before he got up and he was asleep before I got home. So you guys have the way we communicate and stuff. You could be at dinner and doing stuff and do a quick response and stuff. So know your boundaries though, and take your off times. I coached Little League also. It was a highlight of my life for 10 years, all the sports. And you can do it. You just need to make it important. There's 168 hours in the week. You take some out for sleeping and other things. There's still so many hours if you work smart. And Mike too, a big believer in getting up early in the morning and have a little quiet time, get your physical done. Jordan doesn't like this one, but
I sleep as long as I can. I get up every day differently depending on work. But I'm the first.
But you're always there by 8, yeah.
But
7. Own your morning, and the rest of your day will follow. But own your morning and shoot high.
But I am the first one in the office, and then leave as soon as I can. It could be 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3. Everything's different. Every day is different. I don't have a schedule like that.
So you can own your morning.
I hope to have. That's a great question, by the way, about balance. I hope to have more balance. I hope I live long enough to enjoy the fruits of my labor and have more balance.
My experience is the longer you're in it, the more
That's right.
successful you are,
Yeah.
the more balance you get, oddly enough. And things become, you get better at it. You learn things, you can do things faster, you learn how to delegate, and it'll happen. But if you're early in your career and you haven't hit that yet, bust your ass. That's all I can say. And you'll be glad you did. And you'll look back and you'll still have time for the important things in life.
You got a question?
Yeah, I do. So I asked this in a previous class, but I'd love to get your guys' take on it. I'm really working hard to do the work in my interpersonal communication to uncover the actual emotional driver for why someone wants to list or buy or just jump into the market in general. What is it that you guys do within your listing consultation or with your appointments with your prospective clients that allows you to really get to the nitty-gritty and figure out why they're doing what they do? Everyone says, oh, it's to earn highest and best or to retire or whatever, but like, how does your conversation evolve that you actually get to the niche driver for them, if that makes sense?
That's a great question. Jordan, you want to go first?
Nope.
I say it's ask a lot of questions. Really get to the foundation of why they're selling. And you'll find that sometimes they're just going to give you the standard answers, but over time. And then when you get there and you do your tour, start asking them again. You might get a different answer. And listen to both parts. If there's two decision makers, make sure you're listening and looking at both. Because you may think this person's the decision maker and it ends up being this one. But the more questions you ask, the deeper you go and let them talk, they'll start telling you.
Now I get the question. For me, I try to find that before I go there.
Okay.
Oh, where are you guys going? Oh, man. So I find out all the scoops, same stuff. Why are you moving there? Why are you moving to Vegas? I try to find that out before I go. And then I could talk about it a little bit while I'm there. But that was great. Just ask the question.
I'll piggyback real quick on that. What you can do is, just like Jordan said, ask them some pre-qualified questions before you actually go there. And the one thing is most every time you go on any kind of listing presentation, you always say, a lot of people always say, what do you think your home is worth? Most of the time they'll say, because I want you to come out and give me the value. But here's a trick. You just say, hey, what do you think about the Zillow's estimate? That way they have to respond. 9 times out of 10, they'll say, oh, I don't know. Great, it says it's worth 1.2 million. What do you think?
That's high, that's low, whatever it is, you know.
You're going to get more information from them instead of going in completely blind. Again, everybody's looking online first to know.
We don't have time to do it, but
Yeah.
you talk about we're sending out our stuff on high note and so many fun things we can do. But
Yeah.
I think we're out of time. I think there's a hard stop here,
Yeah.
right?
Thank you.
Yes. I'll leave one thing with you. It's 4 letters. HOPE. But it can mean a lot of things for a lot of people, but it stands for one thing. Help one person every day. That's it.
Thanks, everybody.